Well, it's lovely. I mean, the bear's been part of my childhood. You know, he's been a friend of mine since childhood, and who would have thought he'd ever end up on the big screen? He certainly didn't. And so it's lovely to have had the success of the first film, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that people will embrace the second one. I think the fun for Paul, our writer-director, was to, now that he knew, or that we knew, and the team who created the bear in post-production, really understand his character and how he ticks, so to speak. And Ben Whishaw's voice is so beautiful and inimitable. So I think the subtlety and the fun are pushed to different extremes. I think the bear seems even more ursine, even more real in the second one, and the adventure that he goes on is even more wonderful and dramatic. Well, Sally Hawkins is a bit of a genius. There's a lot of fingers crossed for her in another film that I'm not going to mention because it's a competitor. No, it's not a competitor, Shape of Water, in which she's fantastic, and also she does some swimming in. So I think it's now in her contract that she brings her own swimsuit, basically, to all her jobs. So to be reunited as a family felt exactly like that, because we had become a good team on the first film. There's always a risk that the children are going to grow up and their voices are going to drop, but luckily Madeline's voice didn't drop, and so she still plays Judy, and we have Samuel playing young Jonathan again, and he can still teach me how to fix things on my smartphone, which of course I could, you know, I'm being a grown-up, I'm incompetent. It was great being back on set, because I can now finally make my Angry Birds work. Yeah, being reunited with Hugh Grant after 20 years was a nightmare. The restraining order had run out of time, and so we'd worked together on Notting Hill, and he was just as miserable and painful to be around as he was 20 years ago. Knuckles McGinty. Well, Knuckles McGinty is played by the absolutely extraordinary Brendan Gleeson, who well, I mean, I think his character just says it all. That, as Paddington says, if you look for the good in people, you might often find it. You look at Brendan Gleeson, you think he's going to smash a face in, but actually he's a cuddly big bear, just like our furry little one.